We face limitations in life. Sometimes these limits are real, sometimes they're not. They're just a creation of our imagination. In this week's Parsha Shlach, Moshe assembles 12 men. He takes a leader from each tribe and he sends them to go spy out the land of Israel on a reconnaissance mission. Unfortunately, the mission was an absolute disaster. The spies went to the land of Israel and they lost faith. They were scared of the inhabitants and they came back and badmouthed the land to the Jewish nation, telling them that it will be impossible to go and conquer this land. This had tragic consequences and prolonged the time that they had to be in the desert. One of the complaints that the spies had was that the nations living in Canaan, the land of Israel, they were nations of giants. They poetically described that they felt like grasshoppers compared to the huge giants. But what's interesting is that when they're complaining about how big the people living in Canaan is they say, we felt like grasshoppers, and that is what they, the Canaanites, thought of us. How do they know what the locals thought of them? Again, they're saying two statements. They're saying, we felt like grasshoppers, and the second thing they're saying is, and they thought we looked like grasshoppers. So the first statement is obviously understandable. It's saying how they feel. We felt like grasshoppers compared to how big they are. But the second statement, that they thought we were grasshoppers, how do they know that? How do they know what other people thought? So the obvious answer is that the second statement is a result of the first. Because they felt like grasshoppers, they projected that onto how the giants feel about them. They assume the giants think they're grasshoppers because that's how they feel. Sometimes our own thinking becomes our personal reality. If we think we are small and limited, we assume others perceive us that way as well, because we create our own limitations sometimes. Good Shabbos.